Welcome to the final edition of Wildcat News, coming from your F block. Midterms are approaching, and there are many strategies that students can use to be prepared and focused for when that time comes. Let's take a look and see what strategies upperclassmen and lowerclassmen plan to do when that test arrives. Here are some strategies upperclassmen use before they take the midterm exam.
I do all the review sheets that my teachers give me before the midterms.
Usually try to just study as much as I can, but don't overwhelm myself with work just to make sure.
Might just practice beforehand, look at a study guide or something, see what I need to do.
Make some note cards, that helps a lot, or do Quizlets.
When taking a big exam like the midterm, you need to always stay calm.
Do a lot of deep breaths, I pray, and yeah, that's about it.
Try to trust myself with what I know. Drink some water, just stay calm.
Calm guy. I don't really need to do much.
When the teachers hand out candy, I eat so much candy, and that keeps me calm.
Some advice for people newly taking the midterm.
I think don't stress too much. Most of the classes you're going to have aren't going to be that hard. If you have Miss Longo or Miss Fankowski, definitely study. Those are the ones you need to ace, but the rest, you'll be fine.
To study ahead of time, probably a week or a couple of days before.
I'd say study the night before, because studying always helps.
Strange strategies teachers have seen students do.
I think my favorite strategies is watching them get the most microscopic notes on a note card. If a teacher allows a note card, they write the smallest humanly possible, and they try to use that.
Cram and dump everything in one night and learn all the material.
Teachers' opinion on how difficult it can be taking the midterm newly.
It depends on the topic and the teacher. If it's something they struggle with, I think it sometimes gets a little overwhelming to do everything. But then there's classes where you do everything the whole year. So it's just something you just gotta get used to. And
very difficult. A lot of the freshmen are not used to big exams of that nature, so you kind of have to prepare them step by step.
See what a freshman is planning to do taking his first midterm exam.
I'm pretty scared to take it because it's my first time taking a big exam like this. And I hope I can do good on it. I'm studying very hard. I'll be over Christmas break and going over the subjects that I'm not really good at so I can have a good score on the test.
I hope some of you will take this advice and use it on your next exam. I personally took something, which was making Quizlets before the exam. Now let's head over to Stanley and learn about how we can drive safer now that winter is upon us.
Thank you, Jaden. Winter has arrived and the snow's on the ground, making things challenging for new drivers. As Officer Packard says, new drivers are always a factor.
One of the main hazards is the inexperience of new drivers, and they're not used to being on the road. Speed's always a factor, so you got to slow down. And visibility, the visibility tends to get a lot lower as the snow starts to fall harder, so new drivers aren't used to that.
Here are some concerns on what new drivers fear while driving during the winter.
Black ice and not being able to see it and my car slipping.
My car breaking down and me being in the cold.
Just swerving from the black ice and just the ice left on the road from the slush and stuff.
These are what new drivers think they should do while driving during the winter to prevent that fear.
Be selective of where I'm going, where I drive.
Don't be an idiot. Just drive safe.
I could probably just drive slower so it doesn't happen.
Probably lower my speed, be more cautious while driving.
Resource Officer Packard has some tips about driving for new drivers during the winter.
Yeah, you want to go slow. Always leave a larger gap in between vehicles in front of you, as you can't stop as fast. And you want to try to brake slowly instead of just jamming on the brakes because you'll slide.
This is what experienced drivers do before they drive in the snow or ice.
I turn my four-wheel drive on, and then you got to shovel the snow around your car so you can get out easier.
Making sure that I leave my house a little earlier so that my car has enough time to defreeze.
These experienced drivers have some tips for new drivers before they drive during the winter.
I said just be precautious. Try and drive on roads that you know are going to be salted. Don't be hitting no back roads or nowhere that you wouldn't normally go when it wasn't snowing. That way you don't get stuck nowhere.
Don't overthink about it. If you make a mistake, you can fix it. Don't panic, because that's how most accidents do be caused.
I'd say to brake with time because you don't want your car to slip.
Drive slower. If it says go 40, maybe go 30.
Driving instructor Mike has some advice on what you should carry in the car during the winter.
Yeah, the best thing to have is a snow brush, an ice scraper, If you can have a shovel, you also want to have sand, or you can use cat litter so that you can put it under your tires to get traction if you're stuck on ice.
Winter's just started, so the drivers be careful. I just got my license, and these tips help me avoid a crash. Besides, I wouldn't want my insurance to go any higher. AI is only getting smarter, and it's everywhere. It's even your GPS. Now on to GB for his story.
Thank you, Stanley. AI can promote positive learning in students' education, but is often disliked among teachers. Let's see why.
The worst thing that could happen is that students are having AI do the work for them, and that's not, we're just going to end up with a bunch of future dummies, basically, because no one's going to be learning on their own.
Students won't actually do their work. Sometimes they'll just copy off the AI, and they won't really understand the stuff, so when it comes to tests or quizzes, they won't get their answers right.
AI and technology is always there for students' help.
It is positive because some teachers use it in assignments and it helps brainstorm ideas on essays.
It gives advice to if you need help on anything, and it's just all around easy to use instead of just paper or books that we used to do in the past.
I feel like AI is a positive because it makes students want to work more. It helps students if they don't understand something, and yeah, I think it helps more.
You could even tell it to give you guidance, not answers, which is hopefully what students will use it for.
AI doesn't replace teachers, but here's how it supports them.
I've used AI for myself as a teacher, where I'll take my existing lesson plans, pass them through AI, and give AI markers of what I'm looking for. And I've gotten some good feedback on some things I hadn't thought of or new approaches to teaching.
One positive thing that I think has come from having AI is that if I'm trying to make a lesson and there are students who learn differently, instead of me having to really struggle to think of something to do for them, I could put something into AI to ask suggestions and it'll give me stuff that's been proven to be effective in class.
This is how teachers and students feel about AI in education. Now on to Amar.
Thanks, JB. Let's hope AI doesn't take over the world. Cheerleading is more than just chants and pom-poms. It's a sport with rigorous training, athleticism, and teamwork. So why is it still fighting for its recognition? We asked some students their opinion on whether or not cheerleading should be considered a sport.
All the little simple stuff matters, and it's a lot harder than it looks like.
Yes, because I think it's a big part of the football team because it hypes up all the players and gets everyone ready and excited for the game.
Cheerleaders train like elite athletes. Hours of conditioning, tumbling, and mastering dangerous stunts that demand total trust in their team.
Cheer builds trust between athletes because it allows them to throw each other in the air and basically just trust that they're going to catch each other.
Well, for me personally, I have learned that I have to trust everyone else in the group to do their job, or a lot of things will go wrong.
So, we put some guys to the test. They tried cheer for the first time, the stunts, the tumbling, the jumps.
To be honest, I thought it was kind of easy, but after doing Powder Puff, I've learned that a lot goes behind what they do every day, and it was pretty fun.
It was a little bit hard when we first started it, and then once I actually did it at the game and I practiced every day, I thought it got easier.
My opinion before cheer, I thought it looked easy, and then it wasn't that easy, turns out. It is much harder than it looks.
From high-flying stunts to intense tumbling, cheerleaders face the same and sometimes greater dangers as other athletes. Concussions, sprains, fractures, and even catastrophic falls.
The injury for cheerleaders is a little bit higher than normal for other sports compared to basketball, soccer, stuff like that. It's up there with, in our school, it's up there with football.
Our team especially can get hurt very easily. We're known to concussions.
Cheerleading is not only taxing on the body, but on the mind, leading athletes to have mental blocks.
It will beat ourselves up for not doing something correctly or not getting something right away.
Cheer stresses everyone out on our team if they can't get it right or if nothing's hitting correctly. They kind of just blame it on themselves, which causes a lot of stress.
Cheerleading's athleticism and teamwork leaves no doubt it is a sport. But the question is now, when will it get the recognition it deserves? Now on to Des with a little bit about Student Council.
Thanks, Amara.
I'm sure we've all had ideas on how to make the school more fun, or may have not have liked certain school-related events throughout the school year. But did you know there is a club that's in charge of organizing these events where you may be able to share your ideas?
So Student Council is a group of students in the building who want to make West Bridgewater a wonderful community to be a part of. We're just here to build morale in the building, build a sense of community and a sense of spirit.
We all have creative minds. Here are some school-related events that Student Council organize.
So we're specifically in charge of homecoming, all of the spirit weeks. I don't want to give too much away, but we're planning a very big event in the spring, some kind of like a cross between a field day and a fair. We're also helping out this year with Powder Puff, really anything that just kind of brings a sense of fun to the building.
Student Council is different than other clubs. Here's why.
Honestly, it's because you don't really need to have a special talent. You don't need to know how to play a video game or to be good at a sport. We just want people who like being here at West Bridgewater and want to make the school a better place to be every day.
Everyone to join Student Council, here's how.
9 through 12 is welcome to join Student Council. We have meetings usually once a month. All you have to do is come to a meeting, and then we ask that you sign up to help out at a couple events each year, and that's pretty much it.
I hope you've gained better knowledge on Student Council and its role here at West Bridgewater Middle Senior High School. That's going to be a wrap of this final edition of Wildcat News. Have a great day.